I swear, each time I woke up, I was chasing new varieties of spiders off my pillow. As usual, I came out of the town stop behind on edits, so I've been doing the day before yesterday's in addition to yesterday's, and then I'm going to get going here in a little bit. This campsite worked. I remember that a lot of them out here had a lot of roots when you actually get here. Like, they look good from a distance, but then they can be a little bit of a challenge unless you have a big, thick air mattress. Also, I'm kind of surrounded by the trail here, so not a ton of privacy. Part of my process every morning has been to try and track down all the slugs on the tent and other gear and not smash them into the fabric throughout the course of the day. I am getting out of camp at 10:30 this morning. I didn't sleep real well, so I have an alarm set for 5 a.m. and theoretically I should be up and doing edits in the dark and drinking coffee. But honestly, a lot of the time that is hard to motivate myself to do, and didn't sleep real well last night. I have about 43 miles to the town access for Manchester. That was what I planned as my last resupply, basically to get me the 80 miles down to Massachusetts and then down to Dalton, where I plan to get a rental car. I am figuring probably 2.5 days-ish. We'll see how today goes and how much lollygagging and talking I end up doing. I have way more food than I need to get there. I just wasn't about to waste some of the stuff that Jen had sent only to rebuy at Manchester. It won't kill me carrying an extra couple of days of food. It took me so long to get out of the tent this morning, mostly because of video edits. Whenever I'm in town these days, I don't even try and do the previous day's edits, because I find I like the videos that come out better if I do them in the morning versus the evening. At the end of the day, I'm tired and often, quite frankly, just done with whatever I'm going through. So I'm a little more engaged the following morning. But when I'm around town like that, I'm busy with things like, coffee and research / planning / generally screwing around on the internet. So usually the first day back on trail, I have 2 episodes to edit instead of just 1. And in general, it takes me 2 passes to finalize one of the episodes, and then I have to make the thumbnail. I have to do some minor edits to that map, and then I like doing the preview clip right at the start. So that can take a little while. Every now and then I can get a video done, just one and done, but often there is blathering that I would prefer to cut out because it's either repeating something or just boring the crap out of me, or occasionally removing something that I'm concerned will trigger the various, shall we say, crazy people of social media. The most scared I have seen Jen on trail was when I made a joke about taters versus the Second Amendment, because even the most innocuous comment about, oh yeah, we don't carry guns or weapons or anything, and then explain that in our experience we haven't needed it, you will not believe the comments, the emails, the crap like that I'll get. Much less anything that brushes on anything going on politically these days in this country, which seems like pretty much everything gets pulled into that culture war crap, and people online are horrible. So yeah, a lot of times it is just streamlining. I will sometimes remove walking clips of the forest that are a little too samey or uninteresting, or something was off with how I shot it. I've been trying to minimize lens flare to very little success lately, for example. Often the first episode or 2, I'll have to go through an extra time or 2 just because it kind of takes me a bit to get back into the groove, because I'm basically taking all of these videos throughout the day. I don't have the ability to kind of timestamp each clip. Final Cut Pro on my MacBook, I can do that, and I have for some of the dive trips, but yeah, not on the little iMovie that is on iPhone. But if you could see the time, I literally have the 80 to 100 something clips done, mostly throughout the day, with kind of a cluster at this time of the morning where I'm blabbing on about one thing or another because I drank too much coffee. And I don't really script or plan anything I'm saying, much to Jen's chagrin. This is basically just a modern version of a trail journal for us. So it's just whatever I'm currently going through or thinking about, which is often triggered by, some conversation I've had with somebody out here, some comment we've gotten, some weirdness I've seen on far out in this area. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care about any of the look at me, I'm so cool, look what I did sort of thing. I just more want to capture what I was actually going through at the time, and all those little details add up to that. At least for me, when I did the journaling on the PCT, which, seems like that's viewed as more pure by certain types. I enjoy what I have, but, it was mostly just pictures here and there. It tended to be a little more idealized than the highs and lows of what I was actually going through. And I still, to this day, like going back to ECT videos and other things and just reliving the actual experience. Because so much happens when you're on trail. I remember being at the north end of the PCT, having finished the through hike and just being blown away by everything that had happened and realizing like how much I was forgetting basically by the moment. Because, you have 120, whatever days it is, 140, I don't even remember. And things are happening every single day. Sometimes they're not the best things, but, it's not like the times I've had when working where sometimes it feels like you blink and you're like, oh, where did this month go? You're in the moment I am in the moment every single day out here. That's part of why I haven't cared for the hiker videos that I've seen. I mean, part of it is I just live this all the time. So if I'm going to watch YouTube videos, it's going to be about somebody with raising like exotic pets or something interesting, not my day-to-day. It'd be kind of like Jen watching videos about a teacher's day-to-day. And also there's a good number out there that, at least to me, strike me more in kind of the influencer end versus just recording what they're doing. And that comes off as really, really fake. All the stage shots walking towards the camera and yada yada. I haven't been getting them so much lately, but for a while there I was getting all sorts of email pings from people claiming to be, video editors of a laundry list of hiking channels offering their services. I don't know. Less work, but you can edit a video and really change the tone. And, I want to capture what it was actually like for me out here. I will admittedly sometimes cut things so they're a little more critical of me, since that is my self-effacing sense of humor. But in general, I don't want something where it's just inspirational music, la la la, and smoothing over the rough bits. I have run into people on trail, and I've had known them from their social media posts, and their social media posts through there was all like spouting poetry about how amazing it was and everything. And meanwhile, they were like in tears, having an awful time going through all this stuff, but not Instagrammy enough, I guess, particular for people going for sponsorships and things like that. Or so I hear. Again, we are just a relatively small channel as they go. But it has been very rewarding over the last 5 years we've done it, however long. Got to be around like 1,000 episodes by now. am moving faster, about 2 miles an hour, but I am dragging a bit today. Not sure if it's just the less interesting terrain since coming down from Killian. Still have to kind of watch my footing in some areas because of the amount of leaves on the ground, you know, that covers up roots and things, or lack of sleep last night. Or, I mean, anytime anything has happened, YouTube comments always diagnose me with Lyme disease. Literally, I had insufficient blood flow to organs, and I had people saying they were sure it had to be Lyme disease. And a few that thought it was COVID vaccines, of course, because it's the internet. I think that's the Rutland Airport. Seems kind of familiar. Okay, combination of late start, a few steep climbs with slower footing, and me just dragging today. I'm a little under 11 miles at the moment, I think. Mistake I made yesterday was not filling up water early enough. My plan is to hike until water, and then again try and set up right around dark. There is another shelter up ahead, but it was showing as dry for quite a while. So there was one comment referencing some water further on. This might be one of those cases where I end up having to push it a little bit. So I ran over to the shelter. Somebody was working on some new construction there. They said the water source was still dry. So looks like I might have to hike a bit after dark unless I get lucky here. Yesterday I had the same problem. Ended up going 0.2 off trail for water and then backtracking to that campsite. There's one comment about water up ahead, but it is non-specific. A lot of times there aren't waypoints for every crossing, so they're put on random spots, and then it's like, oh yeah, so 0.5 from here. Well, I was able to be creative and bushwhack out Patch Hollow, and I found some water that'll work. It's a little boggy, but I guess I've had worse. Unfortunately, my shoes are completely soaked. I haven't gotten out to this. Well, the water does have a little bit of flavor to it, but I mean, I have had worse. See Homestank Lake and whatnot. So the water is a little bit yellow and earthy after filtering, but I've had worse, as long as it doesn't kill me. The alternative is if I'd made it another 3 miles, I just figured in the dark that could kind of take a while, and I was gambling on a water source somebody had reported here. Unfortunately, I did end up scraping up my legs pretty good during that bushwhack, so oh well, is what it is. Well, as usual, got into an area that after having water and campsites all day and a lot of really nice campsites towards the end, I ended up in an area where I had to get creative, but it should work for the night. Home sweet home.